There's an example, what's a good one? There's a company called Flightcar, which had gone through a program and they had done a beautiful job basically branding it. They had a beautiful job sort of speccing out the business, but they had literally never actually tried their service. It's a sharing economy, right? It's airport car rentals. So instead of dropping off your car for long-term parking, you rent it out to another person who's using it while you're on the plane. You get paid for it, and your car gets cleaned. And they had this whole theory where Airbnb has shown that people are willing to lend out their homes. People should want to lend out their cars as well. If you can give out your home, like why can't you give out your car? But they never actually tested it. They never actually set up at an airport and done it. And so, they had done a good part of the execution stage, like they had built sort of everything else, but they haven't actually proved the idea actually worked. And so, that just came down to, we have these weekly office hour sessions, and they would come in and they'd be like, so how's everything going? Write code, get users. Those are the two things you should be doing. They had done a great job writing the code. They hadn't gotten a single user yet. So it was like, well, why haven't you? Well, we haven't tested it. We haven't taken it out to an airport. So why haven't you? Well, we haven't yet. Well, go do it. Okay. And really, like, the conversation is it's that sort of banal. And then a week later they come back and it's like, so what have you done? And the good founders are the ones who are like, yeah, so we tested it out. We did a trial run. We were able to get 10 people signed up, blah, blah, blah. The bad founders are like, yeah, we still haven't done it yet. It's just, we really wanted to make sure we had the font right on our website. And they solve a bunch of other extemporaneous things instead of actually doing it. It comes down to having basically advisors, mentors, peers around founders who are really driving towards execution, or really driving towards like getting stuff done. And that's what's so cool. Startup community, that's like, it can sound like a really fluffy big thing. The most valuable thing a community can do is put a bunch of people into a relationship with each other where they're constantly shamed or guilted into doing stuff. And there's a lot of camaraderie. What's so cool about tech is most people don't see it as a zero-sum game. It's not a zero-sum game, and most people are pretty collaborative. And yeah, obviously there's jealousy. Everyone's human. But on the whole, it's a really supportive thing. But I think the thing that certainly drove us in YC was every week we would come back and meet with people, and we'd say, so what have you done? We'd always have to pitch them on what we just built, what we just worked on. And you are so ashamed if you have nothing to show after a week, because the person you're pitching to has actually done stuff, and you're like, damn, she just did a bunch of stuff. Like, what the hell did we do this last week? And that is an amazing motivator. And so that's the thing about startup, the aspect, and I think one of the reasons why, it's still a lot harder to do a startup in, miscellaneous town, USA, because if you're not surrounded by other people who are going to be pushing you, you can get, there are amazing individuals who I'm sure there's some examples of someone who's been able to do it just because they get inspired and self-started enough from the internet and from random stuff. But like being around other people, like physical carbon-based life forms who are doing this stuff and can guilt you and sort of shame you into getting stuff done it becomes an amazing feedback loop, because then you just motivate others, right? Your own success motivates the person next to you. Be like, all right, that was a good week, but let's see what we can do. And it is also this great support group too for when things are not so great, because not a lot of people can relate to crazy people who make entrepreneurial decisions, because we're all a little broken.